Of course, Shanisty, Ireland has all the things that we need to try to survive. Organizations, tips and tricks, they seem like they're a really good idea starting out, but then they kind of trail off.
I'm glad you mentioned that because Monday is actually Blue Monday. I don't know if you guys have heard this before. It's supposed to be the most depressing day of the entire year.
Yes.
Depending on the game on Monday, it could, you know,
it really could be.
add to it. But, you know, we're in the dead of winter. The days are still really short. And I think people are starting to realize, oh, we're 3 weeks in and I still haven't done my goals.
And then they just give up.
And then they give up. So, you know, I'm here to tell you, do not give up. I have 6 really simple steps that we'll go through for the goals. I'll go through them pretty quickly here. The first one, of course, is to set the clear goals. And if you still haven't made goals, it's okay. There's no rules on it. You didn't have to start January 1st. Making sure that they're smart, though, they're specific, measurable, you know, they're attainable. So, for example, you can't just say, I want to be kinder. Okay.
Like, how are you going to be?
For a stranger.
That's a good point because I've said I wanted to be kinder in 2025.
And Katie can say that never happened.
Well, I think you take it to the next step and you say, how am I going to do that? I'm going to start by going to work every day and not just staring at Katie when she talks. I'm going to actually act like I'm interested in what she's saying.
I think this is a personal issue. Yeah, we're going to move on. But seriously though, and that's going to help you feel like you accomplished something as well. Decluttering your space. Decluttered space is a decluttered mind. This is my goal every year. I was explaining this to my son. My son's like, that never happens, but it's okay. Having a 5-minute rule is basically you spend 5 minutes on one section and then you move on. The time management in the digital planner, I actually have both. I have an actual physical, because I'm a grandma, you know, when it comes down to it.
I love to write it down too.
I like to write it down, but then my husband has to see, I mean, this is ridiculous, you all. This is like legitimately, this is 5 kids. This is a schedule. But having
you have to have a schedule.
You have to write it down. You have to write it down. And then I don't remember what I put on the back. I think it's digital declutter, which speaks for itself. Habits that stick. Speaking of habits that stick, maybe dry January will turn into dry February and it'll continue on, you know, that kind of thing. And then, of course, celebrating the milestones. So I have all of these on my blog and on my Instagram. So if you're like, I can't remember all of those, but those are just ways to make sure that these goals are attainable. They don't stress you out. And they can be easy too. They don't have to be, I'm going to lose X amount of pounds. Like, set it example, you know, do it one at a time. So yeah, there you go. So,
love it.
Yeah. And then also I did bring 2 mocktails because some people are doing dry January.
And it's nice to have a little something to sip on. You know, I've stopped drinking for the most part. And it's just nice to just have something that, you know, to just keep in your hand.
You don't have to just have water or Diet Coke. That's boring. I did this before you guys came out here because it was quite messy and it was staining my hands, but it's just muddled berries. It's a little bit of honey, sparkling water, and some lemon juice. So it's kind of like a lemonade type spritzer. And then the second one that I brought is a pineapple coconut. Well, I'm going to have you do it. That's why, We're going to put some pineapple juice in there, and then I have some.
How much?
Just eyeball it. There you go. That's
that
good.
Looks good.
And some coconut water. That's why I love when Phil mixes up the drinks because he's just always like, oh, we'll throw another shot in there.
There's no vodka.
Where's the vodka?
I know. And then a little bit of lime juice in there as well. Have these options too. And maybe sorry.
Restaurants have come to the point where they're really embracing the mocktail because they know that there are a lot of people that want that idea of having a cocktail but not the alcohol.
100%.
Those 3 things?
That's just it. We're just going to mix that up and pour it into. I noticed that the other day, Katie, my husband and I went to a new restaurant and they had a whole separate menu and it's fun and it's something that it may stick longer. You may, you know, just be done after Blue Monday, but that's okay. But having a couple of mocktail recipes, you know, it's soup season, it's mocktail season, and it's organizing your life season, honestly.
And I poured it too tall, of course. So
these are all solid options.
I love just leaving him down there. I always put the cocktails and the mocktails on his side.
Oh, it's very good.
That's fantastic. My son described it as, he said it tastes like the chips in a Mexican restaurant, and I was like, you mean a margarita?
I love that so much.
It has a little vanilla or something. It's good flavor.
Shanisty, as always, so many helpful tips. We just love what you do. Tell people where they can follow you.
Yeah, go over to Instagram. It's just at Shanisty Ireland. Also on my blog, she'sbecomingdomestic.com. I got a lot of fun stuff on there. I have a new newsletter. One of my goals is to grow my YouTube channel, which I'm at 112, but it'll get there. It'll get
get there.
Not 120,000.
Just put the video of your kid flying off the water slide.
There you
That'll
go.
get it.
That one's
I still
viral.
don't believe that that's real.
Yeah.
I love it so much. Well, thank
gotta
you
check
as
it out.
always.
Thanks,
you always come
guys.
in, have such great tips.
Perfect.
We appreciate you.
Thank
And we'll
you.
get you some money for a graphics budget next year.
I know, right? This is really sad. That's okay.
good.
That's
I love
okay.
it. You have good
It
handwriting.
drove the point, Phil.
I know.
I need to get with Thomas.